Hey guys, JR Cook here. Happy Monday. Today I started a new book. I'm really excited about it. It was a great day today. I actually also started doing yoga today, which was a little bit different. But today I'm going to be talking about anger and overcoming anger. If you have, anger is a challenge in your life, and it's something that you find either holds you back or maybe sometimes you explode and either hurt people around you verbally or, if you're hurting people physically, then you should definitely watch this video. But anger, I think that it's something that comes to us all at times, and so I'm writing this book on it, and I thought that it was an appropriate time to make a video on it because I've been reviewing it. I made an outline, and I chose a couple of little nuggets out of my book that I just began writing today. Cool. And here they are. So the first thing that I want to talk about is belief. Now, in order to be angry, we have to have a certain set of conditions that are being met. It's like, okay, if somebody cuts me off in traffic, then I'm allowed to get angry. If somebody cuts me off in traffic, well, that enrages most people, I think. It's like, you freaking idiot, right? But it could mean something else. Let's come up with a new meaning right now. Maybe this person cut me off in traffic because they're really stressed out today and they can't even focus. Maybe they're up there bawling their eyes out. It's possible that somebody had just had their mother just died or something, and they're just crying. They can't even pay attention in the car in front of you. And in the meantime, you're behind them, all pissed off, honking your horn, going up and flipping them off. I'm not saying that that's always the case, that somebody cuts you off and, that's a thing. But I'm just saying, which one's going to make you more angry? Because there are lots of sets of conditions. That's just one that I came up with off the top of my head, in which it could be just an honest mistake. It's not somebody that's wanting to upset you or anything. It's just somebody that's, maybe a little confused. Maybe they're a little inebriated, which kind of might cause a little anger with you, but just try and calm down and believe and give people the benefit of the doubt. Just believe, because I'll tell you what, because getting angry at somebody does nothing to hurt them. And there's that old saying that being angry or holding resentment towards someone is like eating poison and expecting your enemy to die, because it doesn't hurt your enemy, it hurts you. And so to be angry does the same thing. It causes stress and anxiety in the body, causes premature aging, it causes a host of illness, because stress, especially long-term stress, if you're angry all the time, it actually weakens the integrity of your DNA, and it begins to unravel, and that's where the premature aging comes in, because of the way that DNA works with the replication and the telomeres and all of that. But it will also open you up for infection. It'll also open you up for ulcers. It's bad all around. And so the second thing that I want to talk about is understanding others. And I kind of alluded to it a little bit, but even if somebody makes you angry, so say you're in a relationship, and even if that person cheats on you, right? That's something that a lot of people get pretty angry about. But even if that person cheats on you, a lot of people snap to the judgment or the conclusion and say the following statement. They say, "How could you do this to me? I loved you. I would never do this to you," and it's this big thing, and the problem is with that mentality is it's making it all about us. If somebody cheats on me and I'm like, "How could you do this to me?" It makes it about me. And in reality, this hypothetical woman or person, we'll just say that I'm whatever, I'm you, right? And the hypothetical male or female, whatever the opposite of you is, or if you swing that way, whatever your counterpart is, cheats on you. And I, as in you, how could you do this to me? But in reality, this person is probably trying the hardest that they can. You know, they probably have their own demons that they're dealing with. Their needs aren't being fulfilled, and I know that that's probably angers a lot of people. I know that would anger me if I'm like, well, oh, I'm not fulfilling your needs, you know, you're not fulfilling my needs by being, honest with me, you know. But in reality, there are needs that a lot of people aren't very familiar with. And one of them is security. People need a certain sense of security, someone to lean on, someone that they can rely on. And sometimes some of us, and we're going through troubles in our own lives, you know, but we're being inconsistent and we're not very reliable. And so that's something that can happen. And then the other challenge on the flip side is people become too reliable and boring in a sense, because, you know, it's like I go home to this person and they're exactly the same every single day. The conversations are the same. The interests are always the same. We never do anything new. A lot of times even the sex is the same. Just everything is the same, and it creates this feeling of just boredom, and then frustration with themselves because they are looking around and they're checking people out, you know, and they're trying not to let you see when you're out with them, you know, and they're checking people out, and they're like, oh man, well, I want to be loyal. You know, because everybody wants to be loyal. But then what ends up happening is, you know, say this person, it'd be a woman for me, say this woman, I catch her checking out some guy because she got bored with me because I'm acting the same freaking way all the time. And then I look at her and how am I going to react to that? I mean, I'll probably get really angry, right? I mean, that's the standard situation without all of these real understandings. And then how am I going to act for the next 2 weeks? You know, maybe I'll change for a little bit, you know, maybe we'll make up, you know, maybe everything will be good, but then I'm going to have it in my mind, in the back of my mind, that this person's looking for someone else, and maybe I start looking for someone else. Well, if she's checking people out, then I'm going to start checking people out, you know, and how's that going to make her feel? It's like, one, she's been so bored out of her mind, you know, she's just bored, and that's why she's checking someone out. And then I see her checking someone out, so I start checking people out. So then she starts feeling insecure, right? So then the insecurity comes, and then she doesn't feel important. And that's another one of the needs that people have, is they need to feel important. They need to feel like they're significant in your life, especially in a relationship. I didn't mean to do a relationship talk here, but I guess it's turning into that. But my point is there were certain needs being met, and the topic that I'm talking about right now is understanding people. And the people usually are trying their hardest. And in this case, so now she's feeling insignificant, and she's feeling bored, and she's feeling like she can't rely on me. That's when the cheating starts, you know. And the same thing with guys. It's not saying that it's all the person's fault who gets cheated on, but it's everybody's fault, I guess. But the thing is before you get angry, understand the person, understand their reasons, and understand that this person probably feels horrible, you know. And don't, like, I mean, so many people, when they get angry, alright, so then you get angry at the situation instead of trying to figure it out, you know. And this person's already hating themselves, and we get angry, and then the next thing you know, I mean, it's over, and then there's so much pain and misery that goes on. And I think the best solution, before I get back with anger, the best solution is to avoid that sort of thing. Keep your partner's needs in mind, and if you have certain needs that aren't being fulfilled, be vocal about it, because otherwise you're going to fall into a downward spiral. And I think an important thing in relationships is to be consistently growing, both of you, and consistently still doing new things, setting goals together, achieving things together, things of that nature. And it's going to allow you guys to continue to grow instead of getting stagnant, and then the relationship starts to slowly deteriorate and then eventually die. But understanding people is a great way to not get angry. And my belief is with people now is there are not bad people. I think that we all have the same spark inside of us. The same life force that's in you is the same life force that's in me. And to understand that, the people that we consider evil, they're really just really confused. And so I approach them with that sort of understanding of them. So I'm actually more sympathetic of them. I go up and, I feel bad for the person that's being angry and spiteful and mean and hostile. And that person can really feel that I care deeply. And I don't get people freaking out at me very often. Obviously, I'm not perfect, so when people do get mad at me, to be honest with you, I usually deserve it. Because I'm so strict with my principles that when I go against them, it's blatantly obvious, and people usually get mad at that. It's because I have created an image, in so many people's minds, to where I fall short of my principles, with a friend or something, like, hey, I just saw you get really mad. Like, what's going on here? And I'm like, well, and then it's like they're angry at me. I'm like, well, hey, I realize I messed up. Thank you for pointing that out. I'm glad, because you showed me a weakness within myself, and I'm going to correct it right now. So thank you. And sometimes that isn't enough, but hey, I got to forgive myself. And that's another thing that I'm writing about as well, is a lot of times we have wounds from when we're kids, certain little things that have happened, or big things that have happened, that are triggers for us to get angry. And we really need to go back in time, look at those situations, because it's not the person that we're interacting with's fault today what happened to us when we were 5. It's not their fault. And so we shouldn't punish them for something that had nothing to do with them. And the way to do that, to where these things don't trigger us and enrage us anymore, is we look back at that situation, and instead of it being this horrible, traumatic thing, we change the meaning. And it's going to be different, we have to look at it, but what is a meaning, what else could it mean that would be more empowering? One thing might be, if it has to do with parents or something, is it shows me exactly what I don't want to be. It gives me so much compassion for kids that are in the same situation that I was in, and you know what? I think it's inspired me to help them out. Or, you know what? It made me a stronger human being. I wouldn't have learned the things that I've known now. I wouldn't have helped the people that I've helped until now, had that not happened to me. And although I wish that it never had, everything happens for a reason, and you know what? That happened for a reason too, and it made me stronger, and it allowed me to live my purpose. And that becomes true instantly once you change that belief to that. I mean, it's a much more powerful belief to believe something like that than to believe, why would this happen to me? It doesn't allow you to help anyone else. It's just pulling sympathy toward yourself. It doesn't create any goodness in the lives of others. It's a really selfish thing, to be honest with you. Oh man, I feel like I probably just made some people angry by saying that, but it's the truth. I've had a lot of things in my life, in my childhood, that I had to look back at, and I had to come up with new definitions. Otherwise, I was going to be a victim my whole life. And it does no one any good to be a victim. Because as long as you're a victim, it means you're not in power, you're not in charge of yourself, you're in reaction, and it's hard to be proactive when you're in reaction. And so that's my video on saying no to anger or getting rid of anger. A couple more things. Obviously meditation is one. Yoga is one. I wasn't getting angry or anything. That's not why I started yoga. It was a weird thing how it happened. I wasn't even going to start yoga until I woke up this morning. But now I'm going every day. So until next time, find your purpose and live it. And if you need help finding your purpose, either reach out to me directly. I will help you find it. It's there. Trust me. Everyone has one. And if you don't know what yours is, you have something amazing waiting inside of you. And I know that you already know that. You have this untapped potential waiting to be fulfilled. And so you can reach out to me. You can search my videos. I have videos about this. And so anyway, find that purpose. Or just find it on your own. Go read some books. YouTube somebody. Or just reach out to me. I'll help you find it. Promise. And once you found that purpose, make sure you go out and live it. Because what's life without purpose? Take care.